Today we're going to take a look at the strongest air attack strategy at Town Hall 10. It's going to be Zap Dragon. So we've got the 10 dragons, we got the 3 lightning spells, the Earthquake. We also have the Giant Arrow on the Queen. I actually like to pair this up with the Archer Puppet because generally you're going to be popping the Giant Arrow immediately for the Queen, so having the Invis-Vial isn't as beneficial. If you have any of the Queen's epic equipments, that would be a better option to pair up with the Giant Arrow, but the Giant Arrow is generally a must for this strategy, so that you can try to take down sweepers, maybe air defenses, things along that line. And then we do have the Prince as well. You could use the King with the Queen rather, but I prefer the Prince personally. He's a nice support for the dragons. And with that, let's jump into the replays. Also, a side note for the Prince equipment, you can use whatever you want for his side equipment. I think the Henchman, if you don't have his epics, is probably the best way to go, but the Dark Orb is an absolute must. The Dark Orb is where the Prince gets all of his power and benefits. So one of the most important things for this is going to be similar to other strategies where you want to try to set a funnel, but the first thing you look for a dragon attack is where are the sweepers and which way are they pointed. So we have one sweeper here. We can get it off of this corner here, or at least we should be able to, and we can snipe that sweeper, get it taken down, and then that'll set us up to send in the dragons from the top left. So let's go ahead and start the baby dragon, and I'll continue talking while we do the setup here. So the first thing is the sweeper, like I mentioned, so we can pop that. Sweeper goes down, we got an air defense, nice, and then we're going to zap the air defense off the back end. You don't want to zap the air defense that is closest to where you're starting your dragons. And the reason is, they're going to be getting to that air defense quickly anyway, so it's kind of a waste to zap that sweeper. Or not sweeper, but air defense rather, sorry. So it's going to be better off to zap the one on the back end because the air defense on the back end is going to be able to get more shots onto your dragons. And if that one's getting too many shots on your dragons, which that Electro Dragon's being a bit of a headache here, but there we go. Oh my goodness, that thing is staying up forever. All these troops are distracting. There we go, finally. That doesn't usually take so long to take down. Let's do a rage over here. Let's get this zapped out of here. So 3 quakes, 3 zaps, or 1 quake, 3 zaps rather. Takes that out, and then there's not really a whole lot left that can distract your troops. We can pop the Prince ability for that left side. Down goes the Inferno Tower. Is about to freeze it. We didn't even need it. We got the freeze. We got the rage left over. Look at all the dragons still left alive. It's crazy how strong this attack strategy is for Town Hall 10. Let's skip to the end of this one and jump into the next replay. And there we have it. 3 stars on the board. All right, next base up. First thing I'm looking for are the sweepers. So I see the sweepers here pointing to the left corners. So we could actually just ignore the sweepers, to be honest, and send the dragons from the right side, which is what we're going to do. We're going to actually start the baby dragon here. And we're going to snipe at least 1 air defense with the Queen. Try to maybe get 2 if we can line it up properly. Going to be tricky, though. And we did get 2. Amazing. All right, we got 2 air defenses out of the way. I think I keep calling them sweepers. I think you guys know what I mean, but there we go. That's a good opener. Send in the dragon, send in the Prince. You could send in the Stone Slimer behind, or you could even offset the Stone Slimer like that, and it'll still do a great job over there. Let's rage into that air defense. Make sure we get it down nice and early. Sweeper's going to be a little annoying, but that's fine. Let's go ahead and do the Quake here. Let's get that back end air defense out of the way. All right, and then we got that Electro Dragon that's going to be a little bit annoying yet again. But we can rage, we can freeze, get the Electro Dragon taken down. Now we're just moving on to that single Inferno on the backside. Other than the single, there's not a lot that can cause a headache for these dragons moving through the base. We even still have the Prince ability. We're going to just pop it here. That'll slow down the Teslas. You can even pop that a lot earlier, and it'll slow down even more defenses to keep that damage off of your dragons. But there we go. We'll just throw in the Rage just because. But again, I mean, we could have swagged the Prince ability. We could have swagged the Rage. And the Stone Slammer, it looks like it's not even going to get a chance to open up. So again, just overwhelming the base. And I know my base is not exactly a maxed out Town Hall 10, but I promise you this is going to work just as well against fully maxed out Town Hall 10s. Let's jump into one more example. Alright, last base here again. We immediately look for the sweepers to see if they're going to be a pain, which they are. But from the army camp, we should be able to line it up in a straight line. And this is probably the thing that takes the most practice with this strategy, is actually getting the Giant Arrow down, because I've used the Giant Arrow a lot, and I still miss fairly often on my main account when using dragon attacks there. But that's the thing to really practice and get a hang of. You just want to zoom in, kind of draw a straight line in your mind if you can. And let's see if we can hit that sweeper. And we do. Beautiful. Okay. So sweeper down. Let's go ahead and send in a few balloons, a baby dragon over here, set that side of the funnel. There we go, we got the funnel set. Let's send in the dragons. So full send in the prince. And this time we can pop that prince early. I've been doing it late, we don't really need to. Let's just go ahead and pop the prince now, and you can see all the defenses that get slowed down by that prince ability. It's really handy to use. That's why I like using the prince so much as well. Let's go ahead and freeze the E-Dragon with the air defense there. We got one more air defense right here. We'll just go ahead and get it taken care of. Now, another thing that you can do with the giant arrow is you can actually use the giant arrow in combination with the earthquakes and lightning spells to help take down buildings. Now, she's one-shotting air defenses with the level of giant arrow that I have right now, but let's say you have a lower level giant arrow that doesn't one-shot air defenses especially, then you can kind of combine the giant arrow with like earthquakes and lightning spells to take down multiple air defenses. Also completely forgot to drop in my siege machine. I don't even think we need it. I'm just going to hang on to it. I don't think we need the rage either. So the CC is swagged, the rage spell is swagged, and this is going to be a nice 3-star. So we'll jump to the end of this attack and wrap up the video. And there we go, swagging the entire clan castle and that last rage spell. Dragons are the way to get it done. That's going to do it for this video. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, be sure to leave them down in the comments below. And if you want to see more Clash of Clans content from me, I recommend checking out one of these videos right here.